The thing I've noticed after 30 years of doing this is that different classes of people, regardless of race, different socioeconomic rungs on the ladder, do different stupid things. Poor people, the rough end of town, play the lottery more often than anybody else. Lottery tickets are almost all sold in poor zip codes. Payday lenders, 800% interest. Rent to own, title pawning. You don't see these places in the rich end of town. You know why? Because rich people don't do them. That's how they got rich. Okay? In the middle class struggles with credit cards, with student loans, with car payments, and with whole life insurance. And they give their money. The middle class ensures that they're never going to be anything but middle class by being in debt to credit card companies and car companies, and borrowing and using whole life policies, which are a complete ripoff, and credit cards. And so and then you look at the upper class and go, okay, what do? Well, we want to mimic that because 90% of millionaires in America started with nothing and became millionaires. They didn't inherit their money. They're regular people. They just did things different. So what do? I ask them, how many new cars have you bought before you were a millionaire? They almost always told me 1 or 2, and it was the worst mistake of my life. How much did debt cause you, borrowing money, cause you to become wealthy? They almost always say, oh, no, I never borrowed any money. That was a blessing. Every time I borrowed money, it held me back from building wealth. And so that's what rich people say. And what your broke brother-in-law thinks, or what some journalism student with $82,000 in student loan debt writes on MarketWatch, I couldn't care less about. I don't care if you're broke, what your opinion is about money. So we follow the money here. If rich people say the best way to become wealthy is stay out of debt, then we do what rich people say, because that's how they got there. And you can't, there's just no disputing that. And the bottom line is this: the average car payment in America now, last month we got data that it's now $501 a month is the average. Okay, $500 a month invested from age 30 to age 70 in a decent growth stock mutual fund in a Roth IRA is over $5.6 million. That's what a car payment costs you. It's $5 million over the scope of your life. That's why, rich people don't have car payments, because that's how they got rich. And so the point is, your most powerful wealth building tool is your income, and you can't make middle class mistakes with money and be anything but middle class. And there's nothing immoral or ignoble about being middle class. It's a matter of if you eat the same food fat people eat, you're going to be fat. And if you want to be skinny, find out what skinny people eat and eat what they eat. Talk to people who are winning at something and do what they do, and not somebody that's just got a feeling or an opinion, because that'll make you broke your whole life. All of that to say, there's no possible way you should ever buy a car with a car payment. I would ride a bicycle before I had a car with a car payment. And it's not forever. I'm just going to save up and pay for it. But the typical person just goes, I want it. I'm going to go buy it. And then scratch their head while they're broke their whole life because they're giving it all to stinking Ford Motor Credit or Lexus Motor Credit or Toyota Credit or Chrysler Credit or whoever credit it is. Somebody's getting credit and it isn't you, and so it's a problem. It's a real problem. The car payment is truly the mantra of the middle class. But let me give you a rule of thumb here. If you want to be broke your entire life, if you never want to be wealthy, spend your money on cars. That'll make you broke. It's the largest thing we buy that goes down in value. And they go down in value like a rock. That's where Chevy got that, like a rock. Ford's no better. It's found on the road depreciated. Shut up. They all go down in value. The average car loses 60 to 70% of its value in the first 4 years you own it. Absolute insanity. Well, I'm buying a Mercedes. They don't go down in value. Crap, they don't. And a buddy of mine bought one of those SUVs. Mercedes, nice one. 550 GL, nice one. $90,000, $85,000 car. You know what it's, 2008, you know what it's worth right now? 20. You just turned $80,000 into $20,000. And you scratch your head and you wonder why you're broke. Most people do that crap all the time. These people buying $60,000 worth of car loans and make $55,000 a year. It's stupid. You go buy crap that's got engines in it, it goes down in value. You cannot afford to do that until you have some wealth. I've got the money now, but when I was broke, you know what I drove? Yeah. Predominant color on the puppy was Bondo. It was a $400 car was my car after bankruptcy. But I never borrowed money again. I saved up money and got a $1,000 car, and it was a sizable increase in value. Listen, you know you're a redneck driving a hoopty if when you put tires on your car, you double the value of the car, okay? I've done that. People have always made fun of whatever I drive. Now they're mad because I've got nice cars. They used to be mad because I drove hoopties. Can't believe you drive a piece of crap, Ramsey. Can't believe you spend all that money on cars. There's hungry children somewhere. There's always somebody got an opinion about other people's stuff, have you noticed? But the deal is this. Think about cars. Now, I'm a boy. I love cars. Most of us boys love cars. I get that. I mean, I'm a boy. I love cars. But let me just tell you, I'm also a math guy and a financial guy, and I hate cars because they go down in value like a rock. Anybody that tells you that the car holds its value, laugh at them in their face because none of them hold their value. Boats don't hold their value. Airplanes don't hold their value. Motorcycles don't hold their value. Four-wheelers and snowmobiles and Sea-Doos don't hold their value. If you put a freaking engine in it, it drops like a rock in value. And we spend all our money on that instead of putting money in things that go up in value. And then we scratch our head in the richest society the world has ever seen and wonder why we're broke and can't retire without the government taking care of us. Because you spent your freaking money on depreciating assets called a car. Stop it. $600 car payment. What the flip were you thinking? Oh, you weren't. See, this is how we're doing it in this culture. It's time to wake up. You're impressing people at a stoplight you will never meet. And if the girl's impressed with what you drive, you got the wrong girl, Bubba. Wow. Think, people. Think. Stuff is destroying your finances.